Hi everyone, I'm Jim and welcome to the review of the third studio album by the band Soulfly. Today we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of this record, so I've decided to go back to it and find out if it's still good or not. Soulfly is actually one of the most important bands in my life. I remember when Primitive was released and I would listen to it over and over again. Then this album was released and I was listening to it over and over again, and it's been like that ever since. This is one of my favorite bands. I've been with them for over 20 years. So yeah, let's check some informations about this album. It was first supposed to be called Downstroy, then Max would refer to it as Soulfly 3 Interfaith, then they've changed it to just 3 or then he regretted changing the name, now he just calls it Downstroy. I actually don't care how people call this album, I just say it's or the third one. As usual, the album was recorded in Phoenix, Arizona, same as the previous albums. The producer for this record was just Max Cavalera, no one else, which can be actually heard in the production because it's not as good as the previous albums. As usual, there are many ghost musicians on this record, and there's a song dedicated to Max's stepson Dana, or D-Lo. All of the first 3 albums have a song dedicated to Dana. Here it's called Tree of Pain. The album gathered mixed responses from the reviewers, but it was mostly positive reception. We've got 14 songs, a hidden track and 2 bonus covers. The lineup is the same as the first album and almost the same as the second one. The only change is the return of Roy Mayorga, I don't know how to pronounce it. He was on the first album, then Joe Nunes came and replaced him. Now he's back on this record, then Joe Nunes will again replace him on the 4th album. What is also important to say is that this is the last Soulfly album that is mostly nu metal. The first 2 albums were just nu metal music, nothing else. This one incorporates some of the previous Max influences, groove metal, thrash metal, death metal, but not as much, it's still 80% nu metal. Then the 4th album switches the balance. Prophecy is the album that is half groove thrash and half nu, and then Dark Ages is mostly groove thrash death, just with some nu metal influences. After that the nu metal vibe vanished from the Soulfly music, which is actually bad. This band was supposed to be experimental and interesting, and they've changed into more generic thrash death metal band, I would say. It's sad, but that's what getting old does to you. You don't want to experiment, you just want to do the same thing over and over again. Let's just start the review. Here's my setup as usual. The production is tight, it's not as good as the rest of the albums, but it's still nice. The message is diverse, as usual, every song is about a different subject. The structure of the songs is pretty basic, nothing technical or advanced. The songs either follow the typical structure of verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, or they've add a twist in the middle or at the end when the music changes from the metal one to more world music vibes. It's predictable, but it works. What is also important to say is that the album was announced in April 2002 with a different tracklist. The songs One Nation and 9/11 weren't on the tracklist. There were 2 other songs, one was called Stomp and the other Maracrutu or something like that. Both songs were about Brazil, and apparently Roadrunner Records thought the songs were too offensive, so have decided to remove it, replace them. To this day, we still haven't heard those songs, we only know that they were recorded and they are ready to go. I wish that someday Soulfly will release them. Recently, Soulfly released a box set called The Soul Remains Insane, which includes a special CD with B-side songs, and still we don't have Stomp or Maracrutu there. I don't know why. I wish we could hear those songs, because I have a feeling that they were better than the stuff we got on the record. So moving on, the first song, Downstroy, is the album's opener. It's also the single. It showcases more of the groove metal, thrash metal vibes that Max had in Sepultura. It's a great song, 8 out of 10. The next track, Seek and Strike. The title refers to the Metallica song Seek and Destroy. This is the only song that has a music video. It's a great track. It reminds me of that Sepultura Chaos AD / Roots vibes. It's cool. I like the bridge. I like everything. The only thing that I am not a big fan of is the woman that is screaming in the bridge. It's just some old lady. When I was a child, I would always think that it was just some woman from a marketplace screaming about fishes and stuff. And to this day, I still have that thought in my head, so it makes the song funny to me. It's 9 out of 10 nonetheless. Interfaith is another heavy song. The lyrical content is different than the previous two songs, which were mostly war focused. This one is more about believing in God, shit like that. I still enjoy this song. I think it's really nice, 8 out of 10. One features the vocalist of Il Nino, Christian Machado, I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm very sorry. I love this track. It feels like an Il Nino song with Max on vocals. It's great, I love the vibes, I love the mellow, slow atmosphere of the verses. Christian vocals are on point, they're beautiful. The chorus is very heavy and nice, but it's mostly all about the mellow parts, which are really nostalgic and sound like the good part of your childhood. It's a great song, it's about God as usual. 11 out of 10. The next song, Last of the Mohicans. I adore this track. While the previous song was just nu metal without any other genres mixed in, this one is pure groove thrash death metal chaos. It's fast, it's heavy, I love the riffs. Roy is great on drums here, just do Last of the Mohicans. It's a great song, 11 out of 10, I love it. It's the highlight of the record for me. One and Last of the Mohicans. The first song is more mellow, this one is just pure chaos. They're like yin and yang of this record, they're the best. Next track we have is called Brazil. I love it. It's more of a nu metal type of track where just Max screams Brazil, la favela, Brazil. Typical stuff, I adore it, 9 out of 10. Now the next track, Tree of Pain, features Asha, Rabuin and Richie Cavarera. Asha is great, you could already hear her on the previous album. She sang on the song Fly High. She will also sing on the next album on the song Wings. She's a very talented vocalist, has an amazing voice. I love hearing her on these Soulfly songs. She always makes them more interesting. This song is no exception. But I do think that this song is very disjointed. Slow, mellow part at the beginning and at the end doesn't quite well match the middle of the song, which is more thrash, groove metal style. It's like a failed experiment. While all of the other Soulfly experiments worked perfectly for me, this one sounds really disjointed. It's too long, the song is over 8 minutes, and Richie vocals leave a lot to desire. He doesn't sound good. The only thing that he says that sounds perfect is screaming Dana. He's like out of sync with the music. I think this is the weakest song that they've made for Dana. The previous songs were Bleed, First Commandment, and on the Primitive it was Pain. I'm giving it 6 out of 10. I wrote down here that the vocals are mediocre. I am not referring to Max or Asha here, but to Richie. Richie vocals were dreadful here. Later he started doing better vocals, especially now in his band Inside, which is great. But here you can hear that he's like, I don't know, 12 or 14, and he sounds like teenager. The next song is a cover, One Nation. The original was by Sacred Reich. It features even the guys from Sacred Reich, which is nice. It's cool to hear a cover which features the original musicians. The song is decent. The cover is better than the original. I really like the small mellow part at the end, which was not present in the original song. The beginning of the track was recorded by Max in a school that his child was in. So this album has the most amount of children in Soulfly catalog. I do like this song, 6 out of 10. The 9th track is a silent track, it's about 9/11. I'm giving this a 0 out of 10, but not because I am an asshole, but because I just think it would have been better to write on the album that it's dedicated to the victims and make some of the proceeds go to the people that lost their loved ones there. I think it would have been a better idea than just to put a silent track in the middle of the album to even furthermore disrupt the flow. The next song, Call to Arms, features Danny Marianino of the band Northside Kings. This is a very weird song from Soulfly that is about killing Muslim people. I know that it's about the extremists and so on, but it's just so out of place. Like, after the song dedicated to the victims of 9/11, we still don't know if it was a false flag operation or not. We just know that stupid fucking people killed innocent people, that's all we know. And right after a song honoring the victims, you just have, oh fuck the Islam people. It's like, what the fuck is going on this record? I'm sure the band had noble intentions, but it's just funny to me that it seems so out of place. The song is also very fast, it almost sounds like grindcore. It sounds like a Sick of It All song in the middle of the album. It's a hardcore punk, just do 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 do. The ending is very grindcore when just blasting. 8 out of 10. The next song is called 4 Elements. When I was a little boy, it was my favorite song on this record for many years. Right now it's in my top 3 songs from this record. The lyrics are aimed at Sepultura. Max is really hating his former band members. He's screaming at them that they are getting famous of his name and his brand that he built. And the song also features lyrics taken from the song Clenched Fist from the Chaos AD Sepultura album. It's like a reference to that times. I've noticed that Soulfly always makes a lot of references to the previous Max band or to the previous Soulfly albums. I love this song. Instrumentally it's perfect. I love the calm, mellow second part of the song, while I also enjoy the heavy first part of the song. 11 out of 10, legendary song. Next track we have Soulfly 3. It's a tradition where Soulfly makes an instrumental song on every album and it's called Soulfly. This one is really good. It has that Prince of Persia vibes, at least that's how I feel. 10 out of 10. Next song is another cover, which already makes this album to have the most amount of covers on the Soulfly records. Sangue de Bairro, I don't know how to pronounce it. Chicho Science, what the fuck is that? I can only pronounce Zumbi, blow them away. This is a great cover. Before the review I've listened to the original song. It's nice, but it's not on the same level as this cover. This is banger through and through. It has that Serious Sam soundtrack vibe. 10 out of 10. The final song on the record is called Zumbi. It's a throwback to the songs on the first Soulfly album, where Max screams Zubia senota desmana, onda zumbi se azubeke manda, something like that. Sorry if I've made a mistake. I really think this song is the worst on the entire album. It's like over 2 minutes it's just percussion, then some bass. It seems very lackluster, like I wish it didn't exist. After that we have like a 1 minute of silence and another song begins. It's very short, like 30-50 seconds. Then again we have some silence and another hidden track starts, and this one is the best one. I really enjoy it, while it's still not that good, it's just decent. So overall I think this is average stuff, 5 out of 10. I wish it was removed from the album. The special edition also has 2 more songs, both are covers. The first one is called I Will Refuse. It's from Palehead. Palehead was a supergroup consisting of Ministry, Mastermind and the guy from Minor Threat, the vocalist. And this cover is nice, it's better than the original because it has better vocals. That's all, 6 out of 10. And the final song, Enter the Sun, it's a Black Sabbath cover. It's actually really nice. I like this more than the original. This sounds like a Soulfly song, so they did a great job at changing it from the original. It's heavy, it's angry, it's also funny. I have to say here that the beginning of Under the Sun was copied by Soulfly on the album Conquer, on the song Touching the Void. Listen to that song, then listen to the beginning of Under the Sun. It's the same. I love this cover, 9 out of 10. It's a great song and a great cover. To sum it all up, the consistency of the record is various. We have some legendary songs here, some great ones. We have a silent song and an average track Zumbi at the end. It's weird, man. It's weird. The flow is disrupted. It first begins to be disrupted on the song Tree of Pain. Then we have One Nation, then we have the silent song, which is like, what the hell is going on? Then Call to Arms, which is really heavy. Then we have Another Problem. After 4 Elements, which is a heavy, interesting song, we have Soulfly 3. Okay, so we're mellowing down. We're getting slower, more mellow. And then we have Sangue, the Byro, which picks up the pace. It really doesn't fit on the record after Soulfly 3. And then we have Zumbi, which again makes us want to die, fall asleep. And if you have the limited edition, then you have the covers. So I think this track list is the worst in the entire Soulfly discography. The first 6 songs are placed perfectly, but after that we have some problems. If I was making this album, I would remove the silent track. I would also have to hear the 2 removed songs, Stomp and Maracadu, to figure out if they were perfectly placed in the original plan, because they were the 8th and 9th song. Maybe it was better then. I would also change the place of Sangue de Bio with Soulfly 3. I would remove Zumbi completely, and the album on Soulfly 3. It's a perfect ending to the album. Zumbi doesn't need to exist at all. So yeah, it's weird listening to this record. It seems like they haven't put a lot of planning into the track list. So yeah, the flow is disrupted. Replayability, yes, I love most of this record. I think it's a great album. Overall, I think it's the weakest of the first 5 Soulfly albums, but it's still great. I still think that the variety here of the music and the different genres is way more interesting than like listening to the newest Soulfly albums, like, I don't know, Archangel. Archangel was boring as fuck. This thing might be imperfect, but it's really interesting. The songs are not similar, each song is different from each other. It's a wild ride. Spin it today because it's the anniversary. Thank you for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!